Forget that.
Oh, don't forget anything.
Looking good, boys. We are a go for pre-check. We're a go for pre-check.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Echo Force, here with more content that has nothing to do with the topic of this channel. Today I'm going to show you everything wrong with the AC-130 from the reboot of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy. Let's begin with a brief history of the real AC-130. After World War II, the idea of an aircraft gunship designed to fire ground targets rather than bomb them was devised, resulting in the AC-47 Spooky. It was developed from the Douglas C-47 Skytrain, better known to pilots as the Dakota. The Spooky sported multiple 7.62mm miniguns in its windows, but they were positioned above the wings, handicapping their ability to fire at the ground. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. Air Force tried to create an aircraft for the Close Air Support Role, or CAS. Today, this role is filled by the A-10, helicopters like the AH-64, and the AC-130. The Air Force modified the C-130 Hercules, manufactured by Lockheed Martin, and created the AC-130A Spectre. With only 3 propeller blades, it packed 2 7.62mm Gatling guns, a 20mm cannon, and a 40mm cannon. At the time, it was one of the most heavily armed aircraft ever to fly. The next iteration was the AC-130H, which dropped the Gatling guns and 30mm cannon in favor of a 105mm howitzer. It had large cheek radar units and started the tradition of 4-bladed propellers. During the 1980s, the AC-130U Spooky made its first appearance, with a 40mm, 105mm, and 25mm cannon. This is the AC-130 many of you probably recognize from older versions of Call of Duty. The AC-130W, an upgrade of the AC-130U, was the first to use missiles. In a specific precision strike package, designated Stinger 2, it carried Red Eye or Hellfire air-to-ground missiles under the wings, in addition to a 30mm and 105mm cannon. The latest and most advanced model to enter service is the AC-130J Ghost Rider, named in honor of several men who died on the only AC-130 ever to be shot down. It is the first AC-130 to sport the improved 6-bladed propellers and is armed with a 30mm and 105mm cannon, as well as missiles, small bombs, and glide munitions. This is the version of AC-130 I expected to see in the new Call of Duty trilogy, but instead, I was met with this. What's even going on here? The C-130 doesn't have winglets? Why is the tail squared off? Where's the 2-mounted radar unit? What is that nose? And the wings droop too? Is this even an AC-130? This looks like the demon child of an AC-130, a C-17, and the B-52. Also, if the dihedral of the wings is changing that much between takeoff and landing, you have bigger problems than movie inaccuracy. Also, unless General Shepard wants to reenact the collision during Operation Eagle Claw in 1980, these aircraft are way too close together. Both of these helicopters should be deader than soap.
Gold Eagle Actual, Shadow 1 is on station. Shadow 1, ground team is at rally point.
In-game, the operation of the aircraft is normal, but the armament isn't. The guns are only shown from the outside for a moment and are difficult to make out, but the scene from the campaign clearly shows 25mm, 40mm, and missile. The Ghost Rider doesn't have either of these cannons. Previous Call of Duty AC-130s have a 105mm howitzer and are visually accurate, but this aircraft isn't just a departure from the real AC-130, but from the previous AC-130s of Call of Duty. Is it really necessary for the creators of Call of Duty to create an entirely fictional aircraft? I don't think so. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was informative and maybe even funny.